Well, hey, howdy, Cousin John. A picture's worth 1,000 words, and so a video's worth more. This is how I go about fixing that thing. What you showed me in the picture looks like there's a considerable amount of rust inside your font. So the first thing I do is, make sure you got your valve or stop in. Fill the thing up with evapor-rust, turn upside down, and let it sit for a couple, 2 or 3 days, just to make sure you got as much rust and crud off of that as you can. Then what I would do, now this is pretty much stuff you can all get at your hardware store. I'd get some threaded lamp rod like this, and I'd figure out how much lamp rod I would need to touch the bottom of whatever's left of the fuel pickup tube. Okay, so then I'd mark that and I'd cut it about a 1/2 inch taller than you actually need. Then using JB Weld, I'd epoxy the two together, but what you got to do is make an exterior collar. So get your, I'm trying to do this with, you need an exterior collar to keep the two lined up, okay? So what you do is you figure out, now as far as material, your hardware store probably carries this. This is a KS products. They have brass rod and all kinds of different sizes, so you can get what you need. So anyway, you want to make yourself a collar that the two of them would hold the two together while the JB Weld sets. So you slather a whole bunch of JB Weld around the stub. Then you put JB Weld in there and around there, and you turn it upside down in your font. And you don't want this collar to slide around. So what you do, you get one of these stop nuts that fits on lamp rod, and you put it on, so when you turn it upside down, with the font sitting on it, that will keep your collar from sliding down. Now JB Weld, take, I don't know, an hour to set or something like that. After that's all set up, I'd come back again with that lamp rod, which is going to be sticking out. I get these threaded copper washers, and you might be able to pick those up at your hardware store. And that would probably be big enough to cover the entire hole. If you can't find anything like this, send me the biggest measurement of the hole you got, and if my copper washers would cover that, I'll shoot you out one in the mail, no charge. Okay, then after that all sets up, before, this is critical, before you join them together, you figure out where on this there has to be holes so the fuel can pick up, okay? So you put that all together. While the JB Weld is setting, you got to make sure that this doesn't get clogged. So blow through it a couple of times, either with a compressor or just, huff on one end to keep JB Weld from clogging the whole thing up. Alright, so once that's set, you get one of these copper washers, same deal. With JB Weld, you weld it in place. Then you trim off whatever's standing proud. Now that's going to leave you with an open tube like that. What I do similar repairs. I'll get a carriage bolt and I'll whack off almost all of it. Hang on here, I'm coughing and choking. So it'll sit in there and look just like a, original bottom button on a Coleman. JB Weld that in. I can't figure out any way to do this repair where you could solder everything together. You might be able to do your connection with JB Weld and then solder this and the cap in place. I don't know. I hope I'm explaining this clearly enough. So you got your piece that goes in, joins with your existing stub. You put a collar over both of them to keep them lined up, filled with JB Weld. Blow through this end to make sure you don't have JB Weld clogging it. And then your collar will sit on the top. Cut that off. Use your carriage bolt to make it look like a button and JB Weld that. This part you might be able to solder if you're careful without burning up the JB Weld. That would be my first attempt at fixing that. So, look at this. Let me know what you think, if that'll work for you. If not, we'll try to figure out something else. All right, you have a good weekend. Bye.